with Shorty University head men's basketball coach Chad Warner. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
You're entering your fourth season. You have 51 wins, which is the most over a 3-year span and over 43 years for the program. This is the first year that all of the players on your roster have been recruited by you. Knowing that, how have your expectations changed, if any, since your first season?
Well, hopefully our expectation, one of the things we tried to establish when I came here was your expectation is just to be as good as you can be that day and get better each and every single day, and try not to put wins and losses on anything. Try not to judge your success by the amount of games you win or losing, because situations change. You don't know what you're getting into. I certainly know my first year I had no idea what I was getting into. If I knew how much I didn't know, I probably wouldn't have taken the job. I'd have been scared to death. I just didn't know. But as we've grown in success, and as we have won more games, your expectation hopefully changes, and only in the fact that I think that we can be better and better in our league. We've continued to climb the league, but we still try not to put a number of wins on our season. What we want to do is, one of the things we talk about, is dominating the day. Make sure we're getting the most out of each player each day. And that's been our expectation from day one. And that's a process, and it's a process for me, for our staff, and certainly for our players. But I do feel like we have more talent than we've ever had before. And now, does everyone stay healthy? Do they mesh together? Do we do our job as coaches? That time will play that out. But I do think we're deeper than we've ever been. And so that's exciting as you head into a new season.
One of the players that's helped you along on this process is Marquise Wright. You have 6 returning players. Marquise is probably the headline of those guys. He was an All-American last year, averaged 15 and 12, had 19 double-doubles, which is a ridiculous school record. This year you have more guys around him that can contribute. So how can we expect Marquise's role to change, if at all, this year?
I've told Marquise, in some ways I hope he doesn't have 19 double-doubles. I hope his numbers are down a little bit. One, we had to play him like 36 or 8 minutes a game in conference, which is too much to play anybody, especially someone of his size. I don't think his role as a player won't change much. We still want him to score. We still want him to rebound. Just hopefully we have some guys that can take some of the pressure off of him in that regard. The biggest thing that we've asked from him this year that we didn't necessarily demand as much last year is leadership. He's been a leader, and we need him to continue to lead. And he's not flawless in that. He knows he's got some things he's got to grow in his leadership. But that's an area where I've seen a change in an area where we've asked different things of him to provide more leadership. And I think that's going to be real important for this team.
We'll talk a little bit really quick about your other returners. Of course, some highlights for you: Monte Brown, Darius Steger, among others. Just talk a little bit about what they're bringing to the table this year.
Some of the same stuff. You're looking at a guy like Monte is going to continue to be, he's not going to change as a player. He's a great energy guy, great offensive rebounder, and we just need him to come in when he's on the floor to play with great energy and go get the ball and defend. One thing I do want to be is a better defender. With his frame and athleticism, I think he should be able to guard a lot of people, and so we're going to focus on that. Darius Steger, he's had a really good preseason, a really good early first 22 or 3 practices, whatever we're in right now. Understanding his role a little bit better as to what we want of him, and he's embraced that. And he's a guy who can score the ball, can handle the ball. He just does a lot of things well, and we're going to need that. And you got Tyler Watkins, who is just a gritty, tough player, and he's battling some injuries right now, but he has been a great leader, and we're demanding that he lead. We need that from him. So that's a good core of guys that are returning. I'm sure Corey Edmondson, a guy that played minutes for us. In the offense that we're playing right now, I think gives Corey an opportunity to be explosive. Again, for all these guys, it's going to come down to, can they defend? Can they keep the ball in their hands and not the other team? And can they be consistent? I'm looking for guys that we can count on and depend on, and that's ultimately what's going to be what separates these guys, because we've got 10 or 11 that are battling for some playing time.
We have 10 newcomers to the roster, and one of the guys that you can count on, I think, that you've already established out here in the preseason, and someone that might be familiar to shorter fans, is Jonathan Crawford, who 2 years ago played at Barry, was the SSAC Freshman of the Year, had a couple good games against Shorter, I understand, but now he's a Hawk. So what have you seen from Jonathan? I know you're really excited about him. What have you seen from him this preseason?
Similar things. The first thing I say is we better be able to count on him. We need to be able to count on him, and when he plays hard, he is unbelievably effective. Plays within himself, doesn't try to do things too often that he can't do. He's just a tough, physical, athletic, player, and that's exactly what we went out and tried to recruit with him. We spent a lot of time recruiting him because we had seen him up close and personal. But the thing I liked about him was his motor. I liked the way he plays hard, and so we need that from him. We need him to do that. We need to be a little better defensively, and he's going to continue to get better at that. But he's a tough young man.
I know you'd like to talk about all your players. You're excited about the whole team, but 5 newcomers in particular: Walter Hill, Eric Nix, Dante Harvey, Marquise King, and Willie Woodard. All guys brought in here for a specific purpose. All guys that bring a lot of different skills to the table. Just talk briefly about each player.
Well, we are. We're really excited about those guys, and I think they're all fairly versatile. I'll start with Eric Nix. Again, very tough. When I think of one word to describe Eric, it's toughness. And at the point guard position, I just think that's crucial. Led his league in assists, and we need him to really get us going on the offensive and defensive end. It starts with him, and that's important. So we're looking forward to him. Walter Hill is a very, very talented player. Can do a lot of things, can play inside and out. One of the keys for Walter is that he is consistent as well, that his motor is continually running at a high pace when it is. He's tough to stop. He's had a great these past couple weeks. He's been really good, and been excited about him. Willie Woodard is cut in a similar mold in that he can do a lot of different things. He's a junior college player from Gordon College, 6'5", very athletic, has a nice touch. We're still trying to sort of figure out his position and his role, what that'll be, but we know he's talented, know he can help us. Again, will we be able to depend on him on both ends of the floor? That's going to be important for Willie and for our team. And I get to Dante and Marquise King last because neither one of them will be eligible at the beginning of the year. Not because of grades, they both have the right grades, but one of them is a release issue, the other one is an hours issue, but both those guys are good players. Dante is transferred from UTC, 6'7", very, very athletic, plays extremely hard, runs the floor like a gazelle. I mean, really excited about what he does from that standpoint. Getting better and better within our system, and so we're excited about him. And then Marquise King is transferred from Vermont Tech. He was a NAIA Division II All-American, and can do a lot of things, can score it, defends on the ball really well. We're excited about getting him. He'll give us some backup depth at the point because he can handle the ball, and we're excited about him. So we got a lot of pieces, but they got to sacrifice to each other. They got to understand that it's not about them. This is a team game. We got to play that way, pull for each other, pick each other up. And we got to have a little more toughness than we've had. I mean, I feel like that's hurt us the past couple of years, and that starts with us. I mean, we've got to be the ones that demand that, but that's what we're looking for.
Well, you'll need toughness more than ever this year. Of course, the SSAC expanded. Of course, we're going to play the traditional powers again: Lee, Southern Poly, AUM, just to name a few. And now you're bringing in the likes of Mobile, Spring Hill, Belhaven. The West is going to be tough. The East is still going to be tough. When you look down your schedule, do you see this new SSAC as a positive or a negative? I think obviously I know what your answer is going to be.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, one of the things I said when I took the job here was our hope is to contend for national championships. Little did I know at the time, if you can contend for the SSAC championship, then you will contend for a national championship. We've gone from a team that won 6, 7, 9 games, I think the 3 years before I was here, to a team that's winning, and winning in decent numbers. But now we've got to take that next step into the top 2 or 3 of the league. And we've been right there, and that's the tough step to take. And if you take it, the good news is you're up there as a top team in the nation. So I think it's a bonus. You want to be the best, you got to be able to beat the best and play the best. Our schedule's tough. Our non-conference is tough. We scheduled Georgetown. We play University of the Cumberlands. I mean, but you have to do that if you're willing to take the next step as a team. And you're going to, bottom line is you're going to have to execute close games down the stretch and tough games out and win them when you may not be favored to, or when maybe you're not supposed to. And we got to figure out a way to do that.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck this year. Of course, Shorter opens November 5th and 6th at home, the Hampton Inn Classic. A couple games there. We look forward to seeing your guys on the floor this year.
We look forward to playing them. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, Coach. It's been Matt Green with Chad Warner.